Dr. Michael Klaper, born 1947, an American physician, vegan health educator, and conference and event speaker, and author of articles and books of vegan medical advice. He advocates rearing children on vegan diets throughout their entire lifetimes, beginning with the vegan mother's pregnancy. So, of course, Wikipedia is not a definitive source on anything. Everybody who's had any, basic education understands that Wikipedia is not the greatest source. But here's his Wikipedia, guys. Let's just take a few looks at some of the basics about Mr. Michael Klaper. I absolutely disagree emphatically that children, pregnant women, and even young adults should ever try a vegan diet. The fact that this man is recommending women to have vegan pregnancies just seems absolutely insane to me. But hey, it is what it is. Maybe we don't need these crucial fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K2. Maybe we don't need vitamin B12. Maybe the deficiencies in zinc, iron, selenium that usually come with vegan diets aren't a problem in our modern world. Right? Maybe I'm kind of being facetious here, in case you're not catching my drift, because anybody who's studied nutrition, anybody who's studied some of the most important works, even in anthropology, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration by Dr. Weston A. Price, one of the most important nutrition and anthropology books of the 20th century, where he found they're traveling throughout the world, traveled all over the world, looking at the diets of people who were not adopting the modern Western processed food, junk food, plant-based diet. And he found that these people had almost a total absence of the modern degenerative diseases that we see now. Right? They had well-formed jaws. They had a jaw. Right? These kids had well-formed faces. They didn't require extensive dental work. They weren't getting massive dental caries. Their bodies were not weak and frail. They were strong. Right? And these weren't just a few different groups. I mean, he went to the Pacific Islands. He traveled and witnessed populations of Inuit. He went to Switzerland, the Hebrides Islands as well, and some Scottish populations. He looked at some African populations. The one thing he found was that as soon as these populations started adopting the so-called plant-based diets, or the diet that Weston Price called the diets of commerce, the foods of commerce, these Western foods, the processed grains, the processed carbohydrate, as soon as they introduced those into their diet, their health deteriorated. So you would see within the first generation of the introduction of the Western diet, massive amounts of dental caries. And as we've talked about over the years on this channel here, the reason we got into a high-fat ketogenic diet was through trying to figure out how to stop our daughter's dental caries. Because pre-conception, we were on a primarily plant-based diet. We thought that that was what was good for our bodies. We thought you didn't need that much meat. After experimenting with a vegan diet for a little bit, we decided, well, you obviously need a little bit of meat, but maybe not as much as everybody makes us think. Sure enough, when our daughter's baby teeth, they call them the milk teeth, when those started coming out of the gums, they were dissolving. You see the same thing in the vegan population these days, right? Our buddy Lil Frankie Frufano did a video about a vegan's kid's teeth falling out. I think he put it out today. A vegan's kid's teeth falling out. Now, I didn't see the video, but as somebody who's been around the block a few times, as somebody who's been around a lot of people who fed their kids vegan diets, as somebody who's lived in several areas where there's a very high percentage of the population that do experiment with things like vegan vegetarian diets, the damage that I've seen done to children is ridiculous. Now, I'm of the opinion that a vegan diet is child abuse. If you're going to feed your child a vegan diet, they will be nutrient deficient. And you are depriving them of some of the most vital nutrition, some of the most important foods that human beings can consume.